Hey, what's up everybody? In today's video I'm going to explore the problem that me and many others have with finishing miniature projects. For different perspectives on the matter, I asked two awesome miniature painters about their personal experiences and when they consider to have finished a piece. Both will answer the question, what is that magical moment of finishing a miniature project? 2023 was not a great year for me miniature-wise, or at least it doesn't feel that way going into 2024. The number is around 50 miniatures painted, but the real problem lay somewhere a little bit deeper. You see, almost none of the miniatures that I painted are actually finished for me. Some for obvious reasons and some without any. I work in video production for over 15 years now and finishing projects is not a matter of choice, it simply has to be done. So over the years I learned how to by planning ahead and being realistic about what I can do in a certain amount of time. But with this hobby, without any real deadlines and without knowing how long things will take, I often find myself with unfinished miniature projects. And by finishing, I mean calling it done for yourself. Because when is a miniature really ever finished? What is that exact magical moment? So for this question, I'd first like to call up my buddy Rick. We have been friends for well over 20 years. We started this hobby in like 2004 and then went away for a while, came back during COVID. And every time I visit him for a game of Star Wars Legion, Kill Team or 40k, I am always in awe of the state of his Space Marines. It's a finished army. It's done. It's ready to go. So I'd like to ask him the question, what is that magical moment for him?
Oh man, that's such a deep question. When is the work truly done? I think for me, like I'll take a model and I'll paint it to the best of my abilities, varnish it. Basing is usually the last step that I take, and painting the rim of the base. That should be it. I take one additional step. I don't know if it's strange, but after doing all that, I'll pluck the model down and I'll sit at my painting station and I'll just stare at it intensely for the next 15 to 30 minutes. And I'll find things that I don't like about it, and then it goes back into the painting process, or it's good to go. And then it goes into the cabinet, ready for the battlefield, and I call it a day. For me, a model is truly finished when I can look at it and get good vibes from it, basically. So yeah.
Rick has a good point. One of the projects that I'm really happy about is my Elven Union Blood Bowl team. I love the way they look as a group, especially with my own paint scheme based on the logo that I created prior to painting them. Also, I experimented a little and used techniques that I'd never tried before, which gives me that good feeling that Rick is talking about in his video. Still though, I see things that can be improved upon. So there we go again. Do you guys recognize this? Let me know in the comments. Next up, we have someone I have only met recently. Borak has been painting for well over 40 years and is currently working on a Golden Demon entry. With all that experience, I wanted to ask him the same question. When is a piece done?
I think for single miniatures, I think the moment you start painting and start making mistakes or making the model look worse, I think you should know when that's the time to put the brush down, leave the model be. I'm really bad for finishing a model, like my Archaon. I'll finish that at like 244 hours, and I look at it now and I'm like, I might just change that, and I have to say, no, leave it alone, because the moment you start, it's going to start causing problems, and you're going to start making mistakes. I think for armies, it's a lot more difficult, because obviously, you're going to progress as a painter from your first model in the army to the last model in your army. So by the time you get to the last model, you're going to look at your first model and go, you know what, I might change that a little bit and I might add some more to it. So for armies, I think it's a little bit more difficult. Single models, my take is if you start messing the model up, leave it alone, it's finished. From my point of view, my biggest thing is I always tell everybody I paint models so I can make cool bases, because I love making bases. So for me, I will do the base last thing. That's normally the last thing I do on a model, whether it's painting the rim black or adding little tufts and a little bit of scattered terrain on the base, or making a really big diorama base. That's normally my last thing that I do, and then I put it away and I don't touch it again. Because I know if I go back to it, I'm like, oh, maybe I would just change this a little bit, and then that's when problems arise.
Borak and a few others are part of a little community of painters streaming on Twitch. They started raiding me on Twitch when I didn't know what raiding was. It's an awesome group of people who you should all check out if you like miniature painting, foul language, and different British accents. I recognize a lot in what Borak says. I painted up a few Votan and went too far with them. I learned from that, applied that to the next set of miniatures who are, you guessed it, not finished yet. In next week's video, I will show you what projects I am currently working on and planning on finishing with these new perspectives that I got in this video. In the meantime, let me know how you feel about this subject. Do you have problems with finishing your miniatures? Do you have any magical tricks that I don't know about? Let me know in the comments. I also like to take this moment to thank you for subscribing to this channel. The small milestone of 100 subscribers has been reached, and it came sooner than I thought, so really, thank you guys. Watch me finish my fantasy dwarves on the stream on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If you didn't do so yet, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys later. So what project's gonna be next? Well, it's the dwarves. That's what I just said.